Good evening. This is Marcus Dale, and you're listening to WNVR, Pine Hollow's only late-night station, still running live through the witching hour. I've been sitting in this chair for nearly 20 years. Some nights are quiet. Others feel like something's just waiting. Tonight, I think it might be the latter. It started with a phone call. I usually don't get them this late. Most folks are asleep by now, or tuned into something shinier, slicker, less analog. But the phone rang at 2:14 a.m. I picked it up out of habit. "NVR," I said. "You're on the air." The voice on the other end was soft, male, uneasy. "You shouldn't be alone, Marcus." That was all he said. I paused, assuming it was a prank, a wrong number, something easily forgotten. "What was that?" I asked. "Check the front door." Click. He hung up. I stared at the phone for a second, waiting for a punchline that never came. The booth was quiet, the hallway behind me even quieter. Eventually, I stood up and walked toward the lobby. The front door was closed, but taped to the glass was a manila envelope. No name, no stamp, just sitting there. Inside was a photo, black and white, curled at the edges. 5 people standing in front of a farmhouse. I recognized one of them. It was me. I must have stood there for a full minute, just staring at it. It didn't make sense. I'd never seen the photo before, never visited the house. And yet, there I was, no more than 6 years old. I went back to the booth and picked up the mic again, just to shake the feeling. If anyone out there knows anything about a strange photo dropped off at the WNVR station, I'd appreciate a call. And as if on cue, the phone rang again. This time, there was no voice, just a sound, a song, twisted, slow, almost like an old music box. And behind it, a whisper. One word. Remember. I flipped the photo over. A date had been written in faded ink. October 12th, 1993. That was over 30 years ago. I started digging. We've got old archives here, boxes full of yellowed newspapers and brittle press clippings. I pulled one out, dated October 13th, 1993. Family vanishes in fire, no survivors found. The article described a farmhouse just outside of Pine Hollow. A fire had gutted it. 5 people were missing. No remains were ever recovered. No suspects, no answers. The names listed were James and Margaret Dale, my parents, and 3 children. I'm an only child. At least, that's what I was told. I sat back in my chair, the room suddenly colder. The phone rang again. I let it go for a few seconds before picking up. "You were there, Marcus," the voice said. "Same one as before, calm, distant. You saw it." "I don't understand," I said. "They never told you. You left. But we didn't." Then nothing. The line went dead. I didn't know what to believe. I'd grown up in foster care. I always assumed my parents had died in a car accident, or something equally tragic. They told me I'd been found alone, barely old enough to remember anything. But now, I had a photograph, a date, a memory surfacing that didn't belong to anyone else. The phone rang one last time. No voice, no music, just the sound of a fire crackling, growing louder, and then, clear as day, the voice of a child. "Come home, Marcus." The lights in the booth went out, and that was the last thing I remember. They say WNVR went silent at 2:21 a.m. that night. They found the station empty. No signs of struggle, no Marcus Dale. But every year, on October 12th, just after 2:14 a.m., The signal returns, just for 7 minutes. A voice comes through the static. "This is Marcus Dale," it says, "coming to you live from Pine Hollow." And then silence.